There's a retired judge who's a very intelligent man, and he has a YouTube channel with a live stream, and he asks questions to experts on throughout about world issues, about human issues, but many ways. I could answer some ways. I could that generate many. Well, I could answer those questions better than them. First of all, aware of that and how they could, they're aware of things I'm not aware of with those things. Also, but I'm aware of recorded the significance of it used by themselves and used by others, like the foreign countries involved, individually grouped together, the humanity voicings. Also, by a breaching method that is greater than and more finite than what they make big and what they make small or hold out as roles for a breaching method. Increasingly, prisons have roles with countries like America and Russia hurting and killing each other, and Russia and Ukraine. But they have collusions with all these different countries with psychiatry rackets on a mass scale, identity theft, fraud, slanders, increasingly with their kids, as ones personally and professionally with judges, prosecutors, their kids. This breaching method has everyone a victim / hyper victim, but if we treat them that way, they lie about why we're using their names. This breaching method already employed names on all sides of criminal and civil cases, names with the courts. The difference of that and the foreign and domestic intelligence shared here and told not to speak about it. Not just by legitimately by our and through our own at countries A through Z, but by a breaching method. And that's measured and maintained self-value rules having been, because it is now being and having been through these hyper additional reasons discernible. See, but that's why they come with use /s of that, where how right to lie is used where they don't have the right to lie. Also, Judge Napolitano asked questions about leaking. Why is there leaking? The intelligence community has people make verbal confessions. Also, not even making sense. Then they make it, and they take a picture and they make people like a Thaddeus Skarbowski, right before a 2006 district court case in Connecticut, part of the case in Connecticut with from the past, from cases with the past relative, and with the Fox Connecticut News, are people that recorded next to them too, and the difference of that roles of predicate acts with me against me leading up to that, and since, as ones involved interstates, with interstates and foreign timed collusion /s that was paralleled intercities. They're planting predicate acts and then rolls with it each year. In other words, I only know a whole bunch of people. In other words, former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, has rules with a whole bunch of people on off Hangdog Lane and Two Rod Highway. And Weathersfield police are recorded, demonstrating, confessing, therefore, because also with silence now, because they switch and forge names. They have names with the schools, intercities, with placements there involved with predicate acts, with facts, methods by foreign countries. There's a complete possession of that non-integrity, pretending integrity anyway. The breaching method knew they would do that. The differences between Republican-themed syntax natures and Democrat-themed and exceptions. That is used consciously too. We could discern it having black pupils, white eyes, and having had that left out. Even that where nature shows us hyper evidential and people pretend it's opinion. The only reason they get away with it is per a method. Each campus I went to, the students and the adults will it's recorded. If they want to say other, which they won't on paper. From off those campuses, they were influenced to make it look like I have fake ties, fake natures of ties to other kids and to themselves and to reality, not just against me. This is on a mass scale. Increasingly, people with the Institute of Living at Harvard Hospital, the psychiatry side of it, a whole bunch of people involved with wire crime acts and methods. Increasingly, there are proven child abusers, leaders of kids years apart, first forced. We had all roles with all kinds of other natures of organized crimes with them, all sides of criminal and civil cases, the interbranch family members. At the same time, the difference of that, intelligence, foreign and domestic, sharing, looking at each other there. They're out of their mind sick fakes. They have Sandy Hook campuses, people out at the state corrections offices, increasingly involved with crimes with child offenders, leaders of kids, people next at and next to body dumping spots, involved with predicate acts with them. People that increasingly people tied to a Joshua Stryker told fake things to my principals with him to me, and then to a Dean Alford at Trinity College, and then tried to make it look like we had a conversation. Facebook has roles with them too. Also with New Britain Superior Court and Wethersfield Police, with people named Schumack that have been planting evidences with proven child offenders of kids, people with differences rackets who are KKK themed, black themed, Latino themed, would have the different police forms, cover, deep cover, all that bullshit. Get the fuck on paper with them, please. Judge Napolitano, get the interbranch on paper. They use the right to lie where they don't. Increasingly, people putting me in fake conversations that ties to kids every year now, and so you ignore that stuff when you're young, but then it keeps getting tied. Like this Robert Rodriguez, he's one of the ones planting evidences, also with the Joshua Julian, and people with the name Scalora. They recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, involved with doctors, with identity thefts, frauds, ones with badges. He lied about himself and to others. It has something to do with his roles with the name Mackenzie too. And these are people inter services involved with all kinds of identity theft frauds, fake ties, people, identity theft fraud, sequential and on campuses with little trick methods that are recorded, but also per method relative. We have black pupils, whites of eyes, and clearer than day. I'm not even a lawyer. I'm not a journalist. The journalists, their family members, lawyers, all sides of criminal cases, formal law named in the difference. News at the same time, WFSB, Connecticut's Channel 3 News. They attached me to fake conversations with themselves and with others. And the people at and next to their location are recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed. Also involved with a whole bunch of people named Scalora, DeMora, Cololo, Kerr, involved Violet, involved with Elm Street, Rocky Hill. A whole bunch of ones I don't know my name too, ones that were put in a cooking class with me. And John Mayano, both times. Involved along Church Street through time with identity theft frauds. They have doctors that fake conversations with me. They have all kinds of drugs and medicines crimes with those people in Church Street and Old Wethersfield, with people on all sides of Hartford Hospital, Tomorrow's Market, Iola's Kitchen, and John Mayano, increasingly with a former Mayor Gold, and people associated with ones before them from the different countries too. And nothing against those countries. These are not one of them has possession of their name. This is a breaching method that keeps them pretending other. In other words, keeps people using. There's a difference between the way I'm using words like syntax in their narratives. I'm using it relative to predicate action, the whole methods of them themselves, black pupils. In other words, mandated law is that Judge Napolitano will help us. In other words, we can draw where these things they pretend they paint. In other words, oh, this means if this is voting, that's all could be. Look, all these politicians said this. You guys are not the Constitution unabridged, and why and how there's an amendment. This is where rights that are too numerous to have to list them. Hyper additionally, I self-promote. Anthony Wally too.